Welcome to Two Guys, Three Crowns, the podcast that talks about what it's really like to live in Stockholm, Sweden. I'm Sean, and with my fellow American Rodney, we break down the good, the bad, and the just plain weird. It's quite the journey, so join us for the ride.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Happy Thanksgiving to you, Tonkatsu.
Oh, どうもありがとうございました. Thank you. Thank you.
I figured that was like a, perfect for this time of year, Get a little Charlie Brown action involved.
It is that, huh?
Uh-huh. See,
Okay.
I was channeling, I'm sure they've used it on other TV specials, but I was channeling the Merry Christmas Charlie Brown, where he hangs the one bauble on the tree and then the whole thing falls over.
The famous Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing pictures.
Oh,
That
man. I'm still exhausted from eating that thing. Let me tell you. From cooking it, from eating it, Jesus.
Yeah. I think
But it's so worth it.
I think your body is still probably digesting and doing all of
Yes. Making all sorts of bubbles and chemical reactions
right.
of a porchetta, a pork tenderloin wrapped inside of a pork belly with the skin on.
Deep fried with chocolate.
I know, right?
Coming to a country fair near you.
Yeah, well, I was telling the people we had over yesterday, because Saturday is when we did our Thanksgiving shindig. And
Right.
they were like, well, turkey, you say you cook turkey all the time. Have you ever deep fried it? I'm like, of course I've deep fried it.
Of course.
And they're like, you deep fried a turkey? I'm like, yeah. And I almost caught myself on fire doing it. Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
It's highly dangerous, but highly delicious.
So you didn't turn that back on him and be like, what, you've never deep fried a turkey before?
Well, if I remember correctly, I think someone said, where'd you do it? Inside? I'm like, get out of here, inside. Are you insane? Look it up on YouTube. That's all you need to know. You got to go out in the field to do that stuff, man.
I think you need to get permission from the fire department. And
Clear the airspace above you.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that looked fantastic. You mentioned garbling noises, and I just want to let our listeners know that if you do hear something kind of in the background, I've already eaten dinner. It's our dishwasher. Lana looked at me before she left, and she said, if I start the dishwasher, it should get through all the noisy stuff before you guys record. And I wasn't really thinking.
It'll wait. It can wait.
Yeah, but
it knows.
But I wasn't really thinking about it. I was just kind of like, oh yeah, whatever. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, whatever. Just push power. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I've got similar problems. About an hour ago, the washing machine said, no, I don't feel like spinning anymore.
Ooh, okay. So it's is on strike.
No idea, because it's a Siemens washing machine. You try and look it up, and they're like, well, what does the LED say? I'm like, it doesn't have an LED display. There's no, it just, one light is blinking. Can you just tell me what that means?
Right.
And Google's like, no, I will not tell you what that means.
Yes.
So I'm like, oh, great. Now I get to pay for that same guy to come over again and tell me how to use my Swedish appliance.
Yeah. What was it last time? Wasn't it a part that was missing, or what was the?
Well, last time was the dryer that got stuck, or the filter got clogged of stuff, and I didn't know how to clean it. And he's like, no, you got to really reach in there, up past. It's kind of, I would describe it like that moment in the original Iron Man when Pepper Potts has to reach her hand
inside his chest.
Not anatomically correct deeply into Tony Stark's chest, she's up to her elbow. And he is basically impaled at this point.
Yeah.
And then she pulls out the wrong wire and electrocutes everybody. Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
And before that was the dishwasher. So now we're on to the washing machine. Next is going to be the fridge. Something is going to happen to the fridge. I know it.
Doorknob. Didn't you guys have a doorknob issue? No, there was a lock. Or no.
Doorknob issue.
No, I'm trying to
maybe.
think. Yeah,
maybe. Who knows?
No, wasn't it like on an appliance? Wasn't it like a lever or a knob on an appliance? I think there was something.
Oh, a while ago, yeah.
you
To
couldn't
open
open
the washing machine, like, and not that opened it so hard the thing broke off.
Exactly.
Like, well, we're ordering that part now.
Yeah. I guess this is what I'm getting for Christmas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, Amazon Sweden would have come in awful handy back then. But
Yes.
yeah.
Hey, so I made pumpkin pie.
Ooh.
I sent you a picture.
Yes.
The lesson that I learned is there are other things that you cook or that you bake in the oven, and occasionally if it starts getting a little too well done, you can go ahead and just put like a little bit of aluminum foil over it. So basically it keeps on cooking, but you're protecting so that it doesn't get all roasty toasty around the edges. So pumpkin pie, last 10 minutes, edges are starting to look a little crispy. And I'm thinking, I'll just put some aluminum foil on it. You know, I mean,
Right, of course.
Put aluminum
As you
foil,
do,
keep
as
the
one
edges.
would do.
So, time comes to check on the pie, and I'm like, okay, I'll just lift up the aluminum foil a little bit.
I guess I'm lifting up the pie now. There it goes.
Yeah. The middle of the pie got stuck to the aluminum foil. I pulled the aluminum foil I'm not sure if I should use a Band-Aid ripping move to see if I can get the aluminum off as quickly as I can and possibly leave. No, that didn't work. So I have stuff on the inside of the oven window thing, and then and I was checking because it was like, does it need 10 minutes more or does it not need 10 minutes more?
Oh, yes.
My frustration once I did the old aluminum rip
It's
off.
done
the top
now.
move,
It's coming out. That's
hey,
it.
I shut the thing back up again. Lena was like, "How much time?" And I was like, "You know what? I don't really care anymore."
1 year until you
don't-
cook pumpkin pie again.
don't really care anymore.
That's how long it's going to take.
I was so upset at the pumpkin pie. I was like, "Yeah, 10 more minutes for you in the box, buddy." But all in all, I mean, it was really it was good. It was a good pie. It was kind of a Charlie Brown pumpkin pie. It had that kind of like how his Christmas tree was a little gangly and not really.
Okay, I get you. It's like a Island of Lost Toys kind of thing.
Exactly. I had the Island of Lost Pies in my
Only
oven,
the mother chef could love it, that kind
Right.
of thing.
Yes. But it was good. I got pumpkin pie. I had nothing else really turkey related. Went up to Farsta to try and pick up a box of stuffing a couple days ago, and the guy looked at me and he was like, "Stuffing? What stuffing?" And I was like, "You know what? Never mind. I'll
Like
just
packing peanuts, bubble wrap.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'll just go over here and, grab a couple of cans of Spam while I'm here. And I get to the shelf, and not only is there no Spam, but they've like moved the other cans to cover the area where the Spam used to be.
Man, those supply chain issues, I'm telling you, it's hitting everybody.
Yeah. So that was a less than fruitful shopping tour at the old pickup spot. I left with a couple cans of refried beans. So it wasn't
well.
it wasn't a complete loss.
And I'm sure along the way you got to stop at the dollar store.
I don't think that there's not a dollar store up in that shopping center. If they did, my trip would have took a heck of a lot longer. It would have. It definitely would have. But no, I was a little surprised because typically, like, my experience with American food store type things is come Thanksgiving, then they have, pumpkin filling, they have cranberry, ocean spray cranberry in cans, and and typically, like a stuffing mix.
A stuffing mix. I think we can all safely say it's stovetop stuffing. That's the
stove,
one.
right? And I also realized that making, because as I'm looking at how to make stuffing from scratch, I mean, it's not rocket science, but it's just like, it's just something about stovetop stuffing. It's, like opening the box and, you got
just add water, man. It's like Kraft mac and cheese. It's so bad that it's good.
Yeah. Yeah. So I did miss that. And I'll have to.
I have seen, in the spirit of now that it's Thanksgiving, now we can start talking about the next holiday. And I have seen today, Sunday, that Polynesia Santa has made an appearance.
Yes, sirree. Yes, sirree. First of Advent today, and it is typically when all the stuff starts coming out, and we got Swedish candle stuff happening, and we got like little decorations here and there, and then the box with Polynesian Santa came out. And, and that.
How does it go? Kalikalikimaka?
Melikalikimaka.
Melikalikimaka.
Melikalikimaka is the thing to say on a bright Hawaii.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I can't think of that song without thinking of Chevy Chase looking at his non-existent pool.
That's right. Christmas vacation.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, so Lena took out, she actually, I have to admit, she did more decorating than I did. I have been trying to catch up on some projects today, so I have been sitting by the computer most of the day.
I mean, that's what it is. Now the end of the year is always a mad dash to get everything done. Like, here, you get a project. You get a project. Look under your seats. Everybody gets a project.
Right. The fun part is like when you have like little feelers out there, when you've sent out estimates and you've sent out proposals and you've sent out all these things, and it's like cricket, and then all of a sudden it's just like boof, boof, boof. It's like, when do you need it? Yesterday.
Yeah, we have leftover budget. We have to use it now. Just bill me. I'm like, yeah, okay, I can do that.
Hey, I dig those projects. I've had a couple of those calls, like week before the new year. It's like, hey, can you build us whatever?
Yeah.
Like, the important thing is that you charge us now. And I'm like, yeah, I can do that. How quick can you do it? I already sent it. It's like,
look at your inbox, my friend.
It's in your inbox. Yeah.
But yeah, we've been doing all the lights and stuff like that, and I always, every year, without fail, I go into Clas Ohlson looking for one thing. I come out, get home, open the box, and then like it doesn't have the plug that goes into my plug. I'm like, We're in Europe. Don't we have standardized plugs?
No.
But no. Always a challenge. Either the light bulb for the star is like for a wall socket instead of the ceiling plug. And you're like, who's plugging their hanging star that hangs from the ceiling into a wall? That doesn't make any sense.
It pretty much takes a lifetime. It takes a lifetime of like buying stuff and going through all of this stuff, buying the wrong thing and having wrong cables or no cables or plugs, or a lifetime.
Yeah. And then I got a garland with like the lights built into it. Yeah. And then I open up the box and then it's like this little, it's smaller than the socket on the ceiling. And you're just like, what in the world is this? And they don't give you an end to plug in. And I'm like, what are we doing here? And then I look at the box and it says garland extension. I'm like, oh, you dirty little
beep, beep. Yeah.
And I go back into Clas Ohlson, and all of the garlands, they're all the same thing. There's like no end. There's like no, like, I'm like, where's the starter kit?
Right.
So then I have to go to the other section with all the random lighting pieces, right?
Right.
And then find it. Then I have to get wire cutters just in case I have to splice this thing, and
you have to go MacGyver
electrical
on it.
Tape and all that. And yeah. Horrible, man. And then you always, you buy stuff. It's printed in English, supposedly what it is, but everything's called something else. You're just like, oh, whatever. I'm going to get one of each of these 5 things. Something's got to work. Right. And then you get home and you're just like, yeah, no, nothing fits. I don't know. I got to go back to Clas Ohlson now.
Spend another day and a half there looking for the right stuff.
Yeah, walking through the IKEA layout, but on one floor.
I was a lot more would you say electronically experimental, adventurous, like electrically adventurous back in the States. And we had mentioned this before. You know, as soon as you hop over to this side and start doing anything electrical, you know, it's not like oh, dang, that hurt. You know,
correct. However, as long as it's not connected to the electricity in the walls,
right,
I'm all right. Like, I can splice some wires together, but like, you know, I've got this broken light switch, and I'm not touching that thing anytime soon.
Yeah. But
I'd rather stick some Gorilla Glue on it than actually buy a new one and reinstall it.
Right.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah. No, I think that like Swedish electricity is probably right up there around like table saws. Like, you know, if you don't work with table saws, there is something deep inside of your psyche that just knows that
finger's coming off.
Anything that sharp, spinning that fast, and you have no idea what you're doing.
Yes. Correct.
Yeah. That's the...
Well, hey, man, in the spirit of the holidays and talking about all this crazy food that we've had, I have to give a shout out to the most incredible thing I've probably eaten that wasn't porchetta in the last year.
Tofurkey.
Close.
Close, okay.
It was a vegan burrito from the border.
Oh.
So they had, we did a side-by-side comparison. Hinata and I, we were both exhausted, didn't feel like cooking. So I'm like, what are we going to order? Scrolling through the same things on Uber Eats. I'm like, let's get something from the border. We almost never order from there. Because if it's a burger, we'll go to Prime Burger or something else on Uber Eats and all that. And I'm like, nah, let's get something Tex-Mex. Let's get like a burrito, like a Chipotle kind of size burrito.
Let's just go for it.
Yeah. So she gets the carne asada,
which
is like a flank steak, thin slice, packed into burrito kind of thing. And
I
go with the Beyond Meat burrito. So same kind of style. So we're going to do a head-to-head comparison. We each take a half. Right? I start with the vegan burrito.
Yeah.
Amazing. Incredible.
What?
Not quite the amount of chew that like a real piece of steak has, like a flank steak.
Yeah.
But the flavor, chef kiss.
Okay.
And then I start on the normal burrito, and I take one bite, and within one bite, I know it's not as good. It's got the chewiness, but it has like a quarter of the flavor of the vegan burrito. It doesn't taste as much like meat as the vegan burrito.
Wait, back up.
The mind is blown.
Back up. So the real burrito didn't taste as much or didn't have as much flavor as the vegan burrito?
Not only that, it didn't taste as much like beef as the vegan burrito.
Wait, so the vegan burrito, vegan burrito that technically has no meat in it.
Correct.
Tasted more meaty than...
Not only does it have no meat in it, it has no animal products, period. No eggs, no binder.
Whoa.
And you cut the burrito in half and you can see the pieces and it looks exactly like skirt steak pieces. Like the carne asada burger. And like, it doesn't have the texture now. It has some bite to it for sure. But like in that format, I was like, and I'm kind of like biting my tongue now. Like, okay, let's see. She's about to take the first bite. Brasileira, from the south of Brazil.
Oh, that's right.
The gaucho culture.
Yeah.
Let's see. She takes one bite and I'm like, can you give an opinion? And she pauses for like a good 2 minutes, contemplating the order of the universe.
Oh, no.
She's like, you know something? The vegan one is better. I'm like, yes, I know. I knew in the first bite as well. It's crazy.
It's crazy. But I think, it's crazy in a good way, right? I mean, it's that's awesome though. I've been trying like at Burger King or at these places that have like,
like I've tried at Max and it's like a black bean burger patty and it's just, it's like black beans and like cumin. And
well, see, now you've piqued my curiosity again. And
it was incredible. Honestly. Anyone in the Stockholm area, go find yourself the closest location of the border and get the vegan Cali burrito.
I'm just thinking, Nina's Hum. That might be like Copenhagen or something, huh?
It might be.
Yeah. Hey, that sounds good. I'm definitely gonna go and
Put it on the list, baby.
yeah, and try that. I actually, both Lynn and I were feeling a little tired and a little less inspired about fixing anything to eat. Veronica's working. She had to take off to pick her up, so we decided to be on our own. She was like, "I'll take care of my dinner. You take care of your dinner." And I had to can a Taco Bell refried beans. I had tortillas. I had some cheddar. I had some onions and
Quesadilla night, baby.
And it took like 5 minutes.
Now, did you actually do like stovetop in a pan, or because if I'm in that situation, everything's going in between the taco shells and it's going in the microwave?
Yeah, I typically have more patience. And I mean, in more patience, I can typically wait 3 minutes for the pan to get hot. Tonight I just wasn't having it.
Microwave that.
It was definitely a microwave, but not the beans. The beans I always heat up in a pot. So I went ahead and
hybrid.
Yeah. It was, but that was, that's about as much enthusiasm that I had. The burritos were great though. I mean, it's like super simple, and go ahead and do it. But yeah, refried beans and onions. I don't know.
Does it get any better? I don't know that it does.
A Red Bull might give you wings, but I think bean burritos with onions, they will make you fly.
They'll give you magical sounds, that's for sure.
They will. They will give all kinds of...
They'll make other people fly, I know that.
I had the apartment all to myself. No.
Hey, didn't I see something was going on with floorball this weekend?
Yes, you did. It is the World Floorball, the women's World Floorball Championships up in Uppsala. And Northside Sport, the company that I do work for, we've been creating the uniforms for the American floorball team, for the USA floorball team for the last 6 years. Started when Adrian was actually playing. And even though he stopped playing, we're still doing the uniforms. And yeah, it just happened to be like the opening yesterday, and the U.S. played Denmark around 2:00. So we swung by, picked Adrian up, and then took a ride up to Uppsala and checked out the game. And it's a day pass, so we watched the U.S.-Denmark game, we watched the opening ceremony, and then we stayed for Sweden-Slovakia. So, and we did all that and still made it home. I think we got home like a little bit before 9, because it's a ride and a half, but it was well worth it. We had a great time up there, and it was fun to.
I think it might be safe to say that Uppsala is probably the Nynäshamn of the north, like directions, like distance-wise from Stockholm. Right?
Yeah. And going from Adrian, where Adrian is, you kind of have to backtrack. You have to go. We go up and pick him, and then you have to backtrack to get on E4 again, and then take E4 all the way to Uppsala. And then the same thing on the way home. It's like, boom, zzz, you go up, drop him off, and
then put that baby in cruise control and take a Red Bull.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Potty breaks, make sure everything is, good to go. But it was a lot of fun, and it was nice. And we miss it a lot since Adrian stopped playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was nice to have him there. One of the young ladies that he went to high school with actually plays for the Swedish national team. So we got to cheer for her as well.
Yeah, VIP section then, right?
We actually
as much of a VIP section as can exist in Uppsala.
Well, let's put it this way: we were as dead center. We were like on the 50-yard line of the innebandy arena, so we were dead center, and tickets cost a little bit more, but it was definitely worth it.
Now, I can only imagine, because I've never heard of this sport until we got to Sweden.
Right.
So Sweden, like the Nordics, must dominate this thing, because I see them sometimes on TV, like Sweden and Denmark, they're going at it, or in the Olympics, it's super close and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Sweden, Slovakia. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I can't imagine there's a huge floorball culture in Slovakia.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of enthusiasm. But it's tough. I mean, the floorball is still, it's still picking up speed in the States.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people just assume that anything that America sends a team to, is going to be a dominant force or a dominant team. And that's not the case with floorball. Again, we're extremely enthusiastic, and we're getting there. But the Sweden-Slovakia thing slipped away pretty quick, and they're still in the group stage. So I'm trying to think. I'm going to say that it ended with Sweden 22, Slovakia 3.
Wow.
Yeah. So that game.
Good on them for those 3.
Yeah, and it's tough because that's the first game that they have right out of the gate.
Yeah,
and when Adrian played the World Championships that he's played with for Team USA, we had our share of those games. Where it was just.
You can almost hear Shao Kahn in the background. Fatality.
Yeah, there were definitely some tough games, but again, it was really fun. It was. Got to cheer on the women's team. The men, actually, their final now after COVID, they're like jammed up against each other because it used to be. It's like every other year. But the men are going to be playing in Helsinki, and I think it's like 8 days or something that their championship starts. And then the U.S. is sending a U16 team, a youth team that's going to be playing in Storvreta. And Storvreta is in Uppsala. It's in Uppsala, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that place, right. Mm-hmm.
And Storvreta, I believe, is still the biggest floorball tournament in the world. So it's like the place to be, especially for youth teams, for these guys coming from the States over here to play. You can imagine playing a sport that there's not, maybe a whole lot of people over there, and then you come to someplace where the sport is big and there are actually huge stores that are dedicated to selling the stuff that you're used to buying black market. No.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like kids in a candy store.
That's super nice though. Yeah, I can imagine. Like, yeah, okay, Mom, I'm going to play floorball. Yeah, okay, just don't get pulled over by the police.
Right.
Yeah, floorball. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't forget your glove.
All right, everyone. That will do it for this week's episode. Be sure to hit us up on Instagram. There you're going to be able to see all of the pictures of the Porchetta amazing porky goodness that I served up this Thanksgiving weekend. And you can find out about all sorts of other crazy things we got going on around Stockholm. And then when you're done with that, come back here next time for more 2 Guys, 3 Crowns.